struggled with anxiety, with just being a really paranoid, panicky, nervous person my whole entire life. Hi there, this is Ro. Welcome back to my channel. I have such an important topic for you today. At least it's important to me because I have struggled with anxiety, with just being a really paranoid, panicky, nervous person my whole entire life. I think it comes along with the fact that I'm really shy. I've always been very shy throughout my whole entire life. However, being a prison wife and having a loved one who's incarcerated brings out a depression and it brings out an anxiety for so many of our subscribers and so many people who follow me. And so I get questions all the time on how to deal with anxiety and what to do to help the depression and to pull yourself out of that. And I had done so much research because I am not one, I don't typically like to take medication. I just not that I have anything against it for anybody that needs it, but for me personally, I prefer to do a more natural route. I prefer herbs and supplements over chemical medications. It's just what works for me and for what I like to put into my body. So a couple of years ago, I was doing some research and I stumbled across CBD. CBD does come from the cannabis plant, but there are two parts of the plant. So what everybody knows as, the part of the plant that makes you a little bit, I'm trying to think of a way to say this without getting demonetized, but makes you act a little silly and funky, you know what I'm saying? That's because of THC. Now there's another part within that plant called CBD. CBD does not have any psychotropic properties. It doesn't alter your mood or anything like that. So and I get this a million times, and I can vouch for this. Will I fail a drug screen when I'm going, especially into visit, if I use CBD oil? And I can tell you from experience, astoundingly, the answer is no. What they're testing for, first of all, when you walk into prison is not the use of any type of substances like that. It is if you have it on you, if you have a package in your pocket, if you are handling the substances themselves, if you had them on you in the morning. Now, I've literally taken CBD oil, I've used the dropper not on my way in, but the morning of visit, and I've been tested quite a few times after using it that morning, and I'm absolutely fine because it's not any way mind altering, it's not any type of psychotropic, it's not anything that you'd be bringing in to make people have fun, therefore they are not testing it. However, let's say that you could get random drug screens for your job. I believe that most CBD products have less than 3% THC in them. So if you're randomly drug screened, you will most likely not fail. You'll most likely pass. However, that is something that you need to do more research on and you need to feel comfortable using that product if it's something that you feel like could potentially hinder you or make you lose your employment, or if you, let's say, are trying to obtain a what's that called? Like a truck driving license, CDL license, then that's up to you. That is up to your own discretion. However, as far as I'm aware, anybody that I know of personally who uses the product that I'm going to promote has never had a problem with it. So let's talk about cannabis and cannabinoids and cannabinoid receptors in your body and the reason why CBD works so well. And then we'll talk about what it helps for, what it's known to help, what it's proven to help, and what it helps potentially personally for me. And then I'll go into the brands. I have a whole bunch of different brands that I've used, and I'll tell you what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and the products that I would personally put my stamp behind. None of these companies know I exist. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but they're the products that work for me. I only feel comfortable sharing stuff that I personally like with you guys. So the CBD stimulates the endocannabinoid system in your body. I went to school for sports medicine. I am an anatomy and physiology nerd. I could geek out on this stuff all day long, but I want to keep it on the very simple side for you, just so you don't get confused. Have a little bit of science behind it, so it's not just you taking my word, but I also want you to be able to understand it and not speak over your head. So it helps to promote homeostasis in your body. What homeostasis is, it's your body's internal clock. It's your body's internal machinery that's always trying to keep all your body systems even at all times, at an even level. Your breathing, your heart beating, you always want it, your body's always fighting all day long to keep that level, to keep all of that operating smoothly at all times. So what CBD does, your receptors in your body are called, there's a whole system in your body called the endocannabinoid system. And in CBD is known as a cannabinoid. So those receptors are basically like a lock, and the cannabinoids in the CBD actually work almost as if they're a key, unlocking that and helping your body create homeostasis, helping your body stay at even levels all the time. So things that CBD has been proven to help with are things like pain relief. It helps you sleep. It helps with anxiety and depression. It helps with substance abuse prevention, the way that it interacts with the neurological system in your brain. It helps with cancer symptoms. It helps with diabetes, epilepsy, arthritis, including rheumatoid arthritis, IBS, and the list is endless. So for me personally, it's helped me with pain relief. Last summer, I needed to have surgery, a second surgery on my deviated septum. So the first surgery I had went perfectly fine, but I had a little complication and I developed a bump on my nose. Like it was like scar tissue, and then my nose kind of veered off to the right. So the septum started to deviate again 2 years after the original surgery. So it was a minor surgery. They didn't have to break any bones. They just had to go in and kind of shave it down a little bit and remove that piece of scar tissue that had developed that was blocking my airway again. And so the doctor prescribed pain medication. But the first surgery that I had, where they actually went in and broke my bone and they shaved it and they straightened out my septum, I did take the pain medicine, but I felt like I was more uncomfortable than in pain. I wasn't in tremendous amounts of pain. I must have a high pain threshold, but I'm telling you guys, if I need pain medicine, I'm taking it. I'm not the type of person that's gonna stay away from it because I need to suck it up and I don't wanna be in pain. So this second surgery, I didn't want to be in pain, but I also didn't want to deal with the negative side effects of pain medication. It messes up my stomach. It takes me a few days to kind of bounce back from it. And I just didn't want that groggy, like, bleh, feeling from it. I was trying to think of ways to say it without getting demonetized and I couldn't. I didn't want to feel like that. So I figured I'll get the prescription filled. If I need it, I'll take it. But in between, I will take CBD oil and see if that will stop the pain. You guys, I didn't even need to take Tylenol or Advil. CBD relaxed me enough that I could sleep, because I was trying to have to learn how to sleep sitting up on my back. I'm normally a side sleeper laying down. So it helped relax me so I could sleep, and I had no pain whatsoever. So it has helped me with pain. It's helped me with sleep. When I take it, I feel like I sleep deep. I feel like I'm not waking up through the night a lot, because usually when I have anxiety, or a symptom of somebody who does have anxiety, you're up a lot at night. Your thoughts are racing. So you can't sleep very well. And when you do fall asleep, you're kind of awoken by thoughts and anxious dreams. And so when I take my CBD religiously, it really does help me stay even and sleep like a baby. Also, what it's helped me with is I'm trying to save the best for last. So I do not have any proof of this whatsoever, and I've not found this in any studies. For me personally, it has helped with, I think, seasonal allergies. Ever since I got the flu shot back probably, let's say 10 years ago, I developed these crazy, insane seasonal allergies, to the point where I would go into, let's say, Target, And I would be walking down the aisle. And I remember specifically the first time this ever happened to me, there were wool sweaters. It was like late in the fall, early winter, and they were selling wool sweaters. And all I was doing was walking down the aisle. I didn't even go into the section that had the clothing in it. And my eyes just got so red, swelled up. They got so itchy. My nose started running. I started sneezing and my chest got tight. And I had this crazy allergic reaction to those wool sweaters, to the wool that I developed this allergy to. And from then forward, I just had the worst seasonal allergies. My nose, I just said that was so New York, allergies. My Long Island accent comes out every once in a while. My nose was constantly running. I constantly was sneezing. In fact, people at work turn to me sometimes and they're like, oh my God, are you gonna stop sneezing? And so always, constantly. This is the first year I've been taking CBD since last summer. So I just missed the height of in the spring allergy season. For me in New Jersey, it's usually April to May, June is like the heat of it, the height of it. And I missed it. So I started in July, and starting this year, I've had absolutely nothing. I can be around wool sweaters. I can be around, I used to have to take Zyrtec every single time I went to my friend's house because she has cats and dogs. And I was there last month and I was perfectly fine. I'm assuming it's from the CBD. That's the only thing I've done differently. So you guys be the judge, but I'm telling you, it's like night and day for me. And then the last thing, the most important thing I saved the best for last, has been my depression and my anxiety. So I used to, and let's remove this from prison. I used to I have a lot of calls with clients at work who are attorneys. Attorneys are trained for 4 years how to argue professionally. So they, and based off of what I do for them, can be a little bit combative sometimes. And I do not like confrontation. I do not like arguing. So I'll get really anxious if I know that I have a call coming up at work. If I had a call scheduled for Monday, that Friday I would start getting anxiety and I would be anxious and I wouldn't sleep all weekend because of thoughts of that call. There have been times where I had to go to visit my husband, and throughout that whole weekend, I couldn't even enjoy my time with him, and I only spend time with him once a month because I would be anxious thinking about that call. And he would always tell me, you don't have to fight with people. If they start getting rude and aggressive with you, tell them we're gonna talk about this another time when you can be professional, because I'm being professional with you. And he would tell me to hang up on them. But I would always think, I'm not trying to put my job on the line or hang up. I could tell you, that is the thing that I've noticed the most. I don't get anxiety about calls anymore. I don't get anxiety when I'm on the calls. I used to try to just rush people off the phone, and I've had clients complain to my superiors saying, she sounds really contrived. She sounds like she's rushing. She sounds like she's not really answering the questions. She's just making up answers to get me off the phone. And it wasn't because I was doing that. I knew my stuff and I knew what I was talking about. I would just get so nervous. I would just want them off the phone as fast as possible. I don't have that. My heart doesn't race. My hands don't get sweaty. I can have these calls. I don't have anxiety feelings all day, every day. I used to get behind the wheel to drive 6 hours to go to visit, and I would see visions of myself getting into an accident. I would feel myself going through a red light, and I would hear the car getting into an accident. I would feel like almost have a visualization of the car having an accident. And people have told me that they go through the same thing because they also have very severe anxiety. I don't have that. I actually feel like I'm living like a normal person when I'm religiously taking CBD. And I feel like I'm pushing this so much, and I am not affiliated. I am not getting anything for this. I just want to share with you how much this has truly helped my depression and my anxiety. I just feel even. I feel normal. I feel like I can get through everyday life. Sure, there are instances where my anxiety is heightened. I'm human, I'm normal, but it's not debilitating like it always was. And if it does get to the point where it's heightened, then I will take a little bit of CBD and it will relax me enough to be able to go through whatever situation is making me anxious. I always take a little bit before visit because going through processing, no matter how many times I've been doing this for a whole decade. In and out of prison visit, it was weekly, and then it's every weekend. It's a whole weekend once a month. For years, I still to this day get anxiety until he walks out of the back, because anything can happen. They can stop visit anytime they want. They cannot let me in for whatever reason they want. They cannot like my outfit, my shoes, you name it. So it's just, I cannot maybe get through the metal detector if it's the wrong kind of bra, even though I've been going for so long. It's just, these are the things that go through my head, and I've never had a problem, you guys. But it's just being an anxious person. So I take that, and it helps take the edge off so much. The only precaution or words of caution I could say to you is that when I was doing research about CBD myself, when I was making my own decision if I wanted to take it, somebody said not to take it before you work out. She said some of her friends would experience shortness of breath after they took CBD when they're trying to work out. And she said other friends didn't notice it, and they said they had better workouts. For me personally, I noticed it the worst when I had taken it in the summer before going to my nephew's birthday party, which was at their pool. Like they belong to a community pool, and they have a sand pit, and they have sand volleyball there. And I love volleyball. I'm really good at it. So we were playing that afternoon, and I had taken some CBD before I went to this party, and I noticed running back and forth to get the ball, I was really, really short of breath, panting. And I'm in really good shape. Like I run 5Ks and I go to CrossFit classes. So it's not that I was just out of shape. I'm in tip-top shape. There's something with the CBD slows my breathing down enough that it's not good. I mean, you don't feel it in any day, like day-to-day life, but with exercise, when your heart rate goes up, for me personally, I can't take it. So if I'm having an anxious day and I know I'm going to the gym, either I'll take it the night before. I take it every night before bed because it helps me sleep, and it carries over to the next day. I don't have anxiety, a horrible anxiety the next day if I'm taking CBD consistently at night. But for days I know are going to be overly anxious, like I said, I'll take a little bit in the morning, unless I have a race planned or a big workout planned, or I know I want to go to the gym that day. I won't take it until after I work out. That's my only minor side effect, if you could even call it that. But people have experienced everything from weight loss and appetite suppression, all the way to, like I'm saying, anxiety relief, pain relief. It could help with cancer symptoms. It could help tumors shrink. It is, to me, a miracle. So I'm gonna go through the types that I've used, and my number one fail-safe holy grail brand has been Charlotte's Web. And I'm going to leave the link to where to get this Charlotte's Web product in the cards, and also it's in the description of every single one of my videos because I love it that much. It's in the link, it's called like my number one cure for anxiety or something like that. So this is the old packaging, and this is their newer packaging. So this is both the exact same product. I just had both packaging, so I wanted to show you. So this, I always get the lowest dose. It's just called their full strength hemp extract. I get it in the mint chocolate flavor. They make it in mint chocolate, and they make it in an olive oil flavor. I've never had the olive oil. This is just a very, very faint mint chocolate. It's not like you're eating a bowl of mint chocolate ice cream, just very faint. And so it comes in this little dropper, okay? And that's about as much as I take as a dose. Now, the directions say 2 dropperfuls is a serving. All I need, I took 2 dropperfuls once. I took it to try it. Thankfully, it was in the evening. It was like 7 o'clock at night. I had eaten dinner. I was like, oh, let me taste it. Let me test it. I had dishes in the sink I was gonna clean up from dinner. I read the instructions. It said 2 droppers. Can you guys see that? It said 2 droppers. So I filled 2 droppers, and I stuck it under my tongue like it said. Keep it under your tongue for about 90 seconds. And within like 20, 30 minutes, I felt so good. I felt so relaxed, but I kind of felt like, ugh. I didn't want to move. I could not move. I'm like, the dishes will get done tomorrow. They'll get done another day. I felt great, but it was way, way, way too much for me. So I take literally, all I need is about that much. There's the whole dropper, about that much of the dropper. And so that's gonna make this bottle last so much longer anyway. And my sister, who likes both sides of the plant a lot, says that that's plenty for her. So what I'm saying is she has a high tolerance, and that is plenty for her. So this serving, I'm sorry, this bottle is 30 servings, but that's 2 full droppers. So what I get is, I get on Charlotte's Web, you can get, and I'll stick a picture in there, but you can get these individually, or what I do is, because I know I love it, I know I use it all the time, it's you buy 4 bottles and you get the 5th one for free. And so I've purchased that twice, and I've been using this for over a year and a half, I think, for over a year and a half, something like that. So what I'm saying is it's going to be, this bottle's about $30 for just one, but I think I pay a little over $100 for 5 bottles because you're getting one free, and that lasts me over 6 months. And I still have I still have these 2. This one's full. I just saved the old boxes so I could travel with them. I keep one in my purse for really anxiety times, like if I have a call at work and I don't realize that I have a call at work, I'll take a couple drops. If I'm just going through a really anxious experience, so I keep one in my bag. I've traveled with it on a plane. It's totally 100% legal. So that is my number one holy grail. I know this works. I've tried tons of other brands, but this is the one I always go back to. It's the one I take every night. It's the one that I find is the most, it's organic, it's all natural. It does the best job for me. And the story behind Charlotte's Web is there was a little girl named Charlotte who had severe epilepsy. And there are these 3 brothers, the Stanley brothers, out in Colorado that created this hemp oil for them out of the cannabis plants that they were growing for CBD. And Charlotte has not had one seizure since they started her on CBD oil, on their CBD oil, and they named their company after her. And so I can't say enough good things about Charlotte's Web CBD. Amazing. So I'm gonna link them above and below for you guys. And then there's so much better. And you could drop this into stuff like food. There's a brownie recipe that I followed, but I'm like, just give it to me as undiluted as possible, as straight, as effective as possible. I drop it under my tongue. I leave it there for about 90 seconds, just to let it absorb from under my tongue, and then I swallow it. And again, it tastes really good. There was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, and one time my friend let me try her CBD Topical Cream. Charlotte's Web makes a great one. They also make a face cream to help with anti-aging. And so I've never tried the face cream. I want to get that next. But I had a shoulder issue from hanging on the bars at the gym and not hanging the right way, not engaging my back. So the shoulder was out of the socket. And for doing that for so long and tons of pull-ups and legs, toes to bar, bringing your legs up to the bar while you're hanging, it's for your abs, I developed like an overuse injury in this shoulder. So she let me rub it on my arm, on my shoulder, before I worked out one day, and I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing. And she has an issue with her elbow. She says she's the same issue. She goes, when somebody told her about it, she was like, yeah, right. Like, what is that, some miracle weird thing? And she did it, and she goes, ooh, this is great. I could move my elbow. This is awesome. So she uses and swears by the Charlotte Web brand as well. That's it. This video is getting long, but I get asked all the time from people in my shoes what to do for anxiety when their loved ones are gone, how to deal with it. And this, I could give you guys exercises that I do as well in another video. If you want that, just put that in the comments below. But I am telling you, I've struggled with anxiety, severe anxiety, to the point where I've had a couple of anxiety panic attacks throughout my life, but not tons. But to the point where I get close to anxiety attacks very often. And I have those racing thoughts, and I have those negative thoughts, like I was saying, like, what if I get into a car accident? What if Adam never comes home? What if I cross the street and get hit by a bus? What if something awful happens to one of my nieces or nephews? Just like those awful anxious thoughts that keep our minds racing. And then that gets heightened when your loved one's inside, because there's depression that goes along with it, and depression and anxiety go hand in hand. This has been a game-changing lifesaver, you guys. I would never promote a product that I didn't love. And again, I get nothing for this. I get nothing from this company. They do not know that I exist, but that is just how much I love, promote, and endorse them without them even knowing who I am. It's got my stamp and seal of approval. So if you guys try it, the link's up there, the link's below. Let me know in your comments if you've ever tried this brand, if you've tried CBD, what you think, how it's helped you, if you want to try it, if you do try it, what happens. Make sure you guys, if you're not subscribed, that you click that notification bell so you never miss a video, and also give this video a like. So it's a free way that you could tell YouTube to promote my videos to other people. You could just help me out. I love you guys. Stay strong, love strong, keep supporting one another, because you're one day closer to all of the terrible anxiety and paranoia being behind you. I will see you beautiful ladies and gentlemen in the next one, but in the meantime, make sure that you try out the CBD. I love you guys. Bye.